Hi, welcome to Sportsy. Let's talk sports. We have spoken to so many stakeholders in the sports industry, and health and fitness is a big industry which works along with the sports industry as a stakeholder. Today, we have with us the founder and CEO of India's fastest growing online fitness community. Established in 2016, the company has changed the face of Indian fitness industry forever. The company has quantifiable results, human touch, and the most important part as the community building. We have with us a guy who called himself an accidental entrepreneur, where he says that he started on a WhatsApp group to help his friends. He never thought that the small act of helping them would turn into an enterprise that is helping millions now. It goes to show that when we care about people, the somehow all comes back to us. Today we have with us Jitendra Chouksey, founder and CEO of FITTR, which is a safe and judgment-free community, a place where you can discuss health and fitness, learn, get motivated, transform, share, and explore opportunities in health and fitness industry. Please welcome an accidental entrepreneur, Jitendra Chouksey, with a company, FITTR. Thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, and thank you for listening. But please do subscribe on our channel, Sportsy Says, and help us spread the word about Sportsy. Let's talk sports. We go with the same handle, Sportsy Says, across all the social media handle. Please do subscribe to Sportsy Says and help us spread the word about Sportsy. Let's talk sports.
ए मोटे कितना खाएगा?
अंदर किधर जा रहा है? भाग इधर से।
हम छोटे गांव के हैं बेटा, इतनी दूर की थोड़ी ना सोचते हैं।
कहाँ लगा है बिजनेस के चक्कर में? तू बस जॉब कर।
Your back is severely injured, so surgery तो करनी पड़ेगी। तो कुछ दिन तक आप रेस्ट कीजिए। एक्सरसाइज कहाँ? अभी तो आप वेट ट्रेनिंग के बारे में सोचिए ही मत।
ओ प्लीज, कभी शक्ल देखी है अपने आईने में?
भाई साहब, बुरा मत मानिएगा, पर आपका ये जो बड़ा बेटा है ना, कोटा सिक्का है।
It's interesting, but sorry, we can't fund your business.
अबे ये स्टेरॉइड्स लेता है, बेवकूफ बनाता है लोगों को।
बिना मार्केटिंग के कहाँ होगा बिजनेस? कैसे करोगे आप?
This guy is cheat. हमारी इज्जत बर्बाद करके ही मानेगा। ए, हाथ मत लगा गाड़ी को।
He's such a weirdo.
ए, अरे हमसे ही जो नामलत मारता होता तो, एवढा मारेल ना तुला। कॉलेज पढ़ाई कर जाता है कि लड़ने? हमारी इज्जत बर्बाद करके ही मानेगा। जा, तो जो करना है कर। Guys is a cheat. This guy is a fraud. ये सब
Hey, hi JC, great to have you on Sportsy. Let's talk sports.
Hey Siddharth, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's so good to have you here. It's because we talk about sports all the time, and the fitness industry that you are one of the main guys running the fitness industry on the community side. I think it is phenomenal, and it's a whole ecosystem that goes together with health, fitness, and sports. And we had a opportunity to talk about it a few months back, and I think it's great to have you here. So for all the listeners, JC needs no introduction, but since he's on the platform, I think it's my duty to introduce him. He calls himself an accidental entrepreneur, and something that he shared a story, which is a thing he started out of his passion, helping his friends on a WhatsApp group, and from there to a empire which is huge, with over 1 million community people taken up fitness as a lifestyle. And Jesse, I don't think there is any more satisfaction. One is the commercial satisfaction and the business satisfaction, but the making the change that everybody talks about and you actually made happen. So what happened to an IT guy working in the routine IT job, and what was the transformation to have FITTR?
No, I think everything has been really blissful, and like I said, can't complain. Things have really taken a turn in the last 6 years for better, and a guy like me doesn't have too many expectations from life. You have silent desires, but then you see all of those desires, turning into something beautiful which you had never imagined. All you do is just wake up feeling more and more grateful every single day, and you just want to give back more than you have received. And so, that's how it is. And, coming to the transformation from IT to this, like I said, I had no plans to create a FITTR. I had no idea that fitness industry could be where I'd be, spending my days in. In fact, back then, nothing like this even existed, right? So it was purely by luck, accident, destiny, whatever you call it. It just happened. And I think I was just there at the right place, right time, and when the right opportunity came, I kind of was prepared to take on it, and I guess that's what life was preparing for me. So I was just there,
And we are so glad that you were there. Yes, it's a journey of entrepreneurship. It's a journey of converting your passion into your profession and taking it beyond that. So as we all know that fitness has got multiple forms. Which is the form that you actually believe in, and how do you think that the fitness can change the mindset of people?
Well, I think fitness, fitness in any form is really great. Some people like lifting weight, some people like calisthenics, some people like sports, some people prefer combat sports, some people like endurance sports. So, take your pick. Take your pick. There's no one size fits all kind of an approach. As long as you feel better about yourself, as long as you feel better externally as well as internally, right? So fitness is that's the beauty about fitness. You can be fit in so many different ways, and fitness has so many different meanings for different people, right? And that's the beauty about it. I think it's important though for people to realize that with fitness comes a lot of beautiful changes in you. Your lifestyle changes, your habits changes. You get not just physically tough, you get mentally tough, because when you are in a sort of sport, take combat sport, long distance sport, or take weightlifting, weight training, all these kind of sports. One thing they definitely teach you is that you can't achieve anything without consistency. And I see that there's a strong relevance of these basic tenets, basic value system of life, like consistency, hard work, patience, which you need for absolutely every other aspect in your life. So I'd say, an exposure to fitness, an exposure to sport early on can really teach people this basic value system, these basic tenets, which they can't do without. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beauty of adapting fitness early on. They just teach you something important which sticks with you for a lifetime.
Yeah, and it's so true about while I was a competitive athlete while growing up. For us, the fitness was more of a physical training, or a specific thing, or more of a generic thing. And now what we see with the whole new lot is that everything is specific. There's a functional thing. Every part becomes very specific. So. And that has changed. Like every sport is following a different way of routine, while the base fundamental stays the same. I think the verticals have become so different. So Jesse, you have built one of the fastest growing community startup in India, and it has been awarded at many places. And we know that, and it's over 5 to 6 years now. You say it's 100 crore plus turnover startup or a company. With over 1 million followers they vouch by your methods, vouch by what happens on FITTR. And the best amazing part is you have one of the early investor in Sunil Shetty. So what was the story that Anna believed in and decided to invest with you? And so you believed in the whole story, but what was that he believed in? Where do you see FITTR going from where it was to where it is going to probably a couple of years from now?
I think one of the most impressive thing he found out in FITTR was that the stories were real. The stories were genuine. It was not a fad. And instead of providing some sort of shortcuts, we were empowering the end users. We were teaching them how to stay fit, not just making them fit, but teaching them how they can stay fit lifelong. And instead of just selling everything, we have a freemium approach where if people cannot afford going for a personal coach, they can actually do it on their own. The personal coaches are just filling the gap where low motivation and adherence comes into place, right? So it's more towards the behavioral side of things. But when it comes to informative side of things, you have everything. You have every single resource you need to get fit and fit or free of cost. And I think that's what he liked. That's what he appreciated. And the fact that, people are undergoing such dramatic transformations in a healthy, systematic manner. I think that's what impressed him. And he has already been a fitness evangelist in the industry for good, 30, 40 odd years. He's been in Bollywood for more than 30 years. And he has been a very fit guy throughout his life now. Even at 60, he looks better. He's stronger than most young guys. And so I think he's one of those few guys who understand the importance of fitness, not just career-wise, but also, as you get older, lifts weight, he eats quantified meals. So most of the philosophy of his fitness was exactly what we were doing. And so I think it was more of a philosophical match that worked in our case.
Wow. And see, working in the startup industry, I think this is very, very crucial. And coming from you, I think it also emphasizes on the fact that build a genuine story, have a proper proposition, and have a quantifiable deliverable, and the team needs to have a good capability to find the like-minded people and to grow. I think that is a big takeaway for a lot of startup guys, a lot of entrepreneurs from this. So now another question again. I'm still harping on the whole community that you have. I think it's phenomenal. So the community that you have, and we say when I say they vouch by the whole work that FITTR is doing or the coaches are doing for you, what is the unique method other than the freemium model that you talk about and people find it so convenient? What is that actually has the biggest hook that people can't go away from FITTR? I know people who are there for years together now. So what is that hook that you build on the personal capacity, on the personal side?
Look, I think it's our transformation is aspirational. When you become fit and you get results, it basically follows Maslow's hierarchy of the need for self-betterment, the need for getting better over a period of time. And so people would incrementally want to do things that will improve their own self-image, right? So physical fitness, mental fitness not from a look and feel perspective, but physical fitness more so, is something which makes people feel good about themselves. Being able to run faster, being able to do push-ups, being able to do pull-ups, or being able to just look good in any clothes that you're wearing. And so what happens is when people get these kind of results, these results become addictive, and they keep coming back for more and more results. And all this is happening because there's a community where everybody is pushing everybody else. So what it does is it forces people to change their behavior. On one side, you have people who are only talking about food. We have 1 million plus people who are only talking about fitness. And so what happens when you become part of this crowd of 1 million plus people only talking about fitness? You cannot you cannot talk about food any longer, and all you are doing is just talking about fitness. And this whole thing is intertwined very beautifully with different sort of reward systems. So if you see our transformation challenge, they are some of the biggest transformation challenges in the world. This time we have a transformation challenge with over 15,000 people taking part from all over the world. And the prizes are worth over 20 lakh rupees, right? And they have become increasingly bigger and bigger over a period of time. So I think, and we didn't consciously create this system. It just happened. We were always listening to what people are doing, eyes and ears on the ground, and we were listening to what are some of the problems which are the major challenges, right? So we found out that basically there's two problems. One is low motivation. So people have this desire to lose weight, but they don't really have that motivation. So how do you convert that strong desire into very high motivation?
Right.
Desire does not translate to high motivation. Desire is there, silent somewhere. So how do we create that spark within so that you become highly motivated individual? Second thing is adherence. Most of the people who opt for any sort of fitness regime, they can't stick to that fitness regime for a month.
Right.
Now, and the industry standard is somewhere around 7%, which means that out of all the people who take up on their fitness journey, only 7% people end up on their journey. Rest of the people drop out. On the contrary, 88% of our customers who enroll with a coach end up completing their program. So I think the biggest differentiator is a very, very personalized approach, understanding the emotions which are leading to this negative behavior, which is leading to these bad food relationships, and then nudging people in a very subtle yet compoundable manner over a period of time. This is the key element, you know.
Oh wow! I think and just pretty unique. And you say 82% of the people completing the course. I think that's a staggering stat. And I was talking to Talwalkar sir a few months back, and he said only 2%, 3% of people actually take fitness seriously in our country, and there are a lot of people need to take it as a challenge. I think what you're doing is amazing. So how do you actually look at the traditional fitness industry, which is the gym, which is focusing toward gyms and all, where you have virtual coaching and there's a personal touch as well, obviously, because the one-to-one personal touch, but non-gym kind of situation or scenario. How do you look at both the aspect and the sustainability of both?
Right. So look, based on the current total addressable market, you know, you can easily divide people into different categories: people who are self-motivated, people who are not motivated at all. And I'd say, look, most of the people are not motivated to get fit. Right. So that's a much bigger problem. Now, the gym industry is slightly catering to the crowd, which is self-motivated, you know, which is very, very small percentage of people. Like I was always self-motivated to become fit because I hated the way I looked back then when I was a kid. Right. So nobody told me I should go to the gym. I mean, except for my friend who taunted me once, but nobody actually asked me to go to the gym again and again. I did it on my own because I had the strong desire, strong need, which translated into high motivation to go to the gym every single day. Mm-hmm. But how many of those people are actually there in the country? How many people are like me? You know, less than 0.03%, which is exactly the penetration rate of fitness in India, less than 0.5%, right? So on one side, you have 0.5% people, which the gyms and other traditional fitness models are catering to. We are looking at beyond this 0.5%. What is it that the 99.5% people are lacking? Why can't they get fit? Why don't they have a strong motivation? What will make them get off their couch and start taking fitness seriously? Because today it's a big problem. You know, 2.2 billion people globally are obese. In India, out of the total 30 million kids that we have about 40% kids who are overweight or obese, which is crazy.
Yes.
Which is crazy. So on one side, you have a obesity pandemic, which is not just affecting the adults. We are also, by the way, number one when it comes to diabetes.
Yes.
Also going into the kids. And how do you envision a future where everybody is suffering from a lifestyle disease? So unless until you focus on these 99.5% people and provoke them, you know, it could be through different channels, be it incentivizing them, be it creating job opportunities for them, or whatever means, you know, it's important. So we are focusing on that. And so building a community was the easiest way to get those people, you know, from the couch and start working on. Then incentivization, you know, allowing them chance to win big, getting them jobs, career opportunities, making fitness industry itself into one of the largest job creators in the world. These are some of the things that we are focusing on. And I think traditional model should also look into the rest of the 99.5% people. It's good that you are catering to highly motivated individuals, but that's a very small subsegment, and it's a very, how do you say, dispersed, right? It's segregated. It's also very isolated, and it's non-scalable.
That was so bang on, and in fact, you actually already answered the next question that I had. How do you actually motivate the youth who is taking fitness for granted? I think you already spoke about all the aspects of looking at the 99% of the people who should be coming into it. One of the biggest thing about FITTR that I have read and experienced is the coaches that you have, the personal coaches and the fitness coaches that you have. They are as good as a family to you. So what is it? What does it take for somebody to become a FITTR coach, and what is the career progression once they join you as a coach?
Right. So look, our top coaches end up making $6,000 to $7,000 a month, which roughly translates to 3 to 4 lakh rupee a month, which is more than most A plus executives in the country. What they make on a monthly basis. And so the career opportunities are definitely amazing. Most of our coaches are very, very handsomely paid. In fact, in the month of August and September, our average coach commission was over $1,800. The median was over $1,600. So I'm talking about 1.5 lakh rupees as the average, and 1.32 lakh rupees as the median. So that basically tells you that, look, this is a high paying job. But is it an easy job? Definitely not. Look, we scrutinize our coaches in an extremely rigorous manner. And only 5% of the people who actually apply for becoming coaches end up becoming coaches with us. What we look for in our coaches is that human element, the care, the compassion, understanding the psyche. You're not dealing with highly motivated individuals. You're dealing with people who have no motivation, just the desire. So how do you change those people? How do you take their desire and convert it into very high level of motivation? And you can't really do that until you understand all aspects of, client behavior. So there are some software aspects which we focus on. And that's why our coaches are well paid, because they do a very, very difficult job. They convert somebody who's not into fitness into a fitness inspiration, who then goes out and motivates 10 other people. And that's a perpetual cycle.
Wow, it's a nice chain that you have that goes on from this, and it's a handsome sum to earn. And if you are if you're passionate about fitness and making that into a profession which pays this much, I think this is amazing platform that you have created, and kudos to you for that. Because this typically shows that people are coming into the sports industry or fitness industry, want to have a career progression, and so they should not be taking the soft skill for granted. They should not be only looking at the irons and the rod. They should be looking at the mental side of it, and build that side of their career or their personality to be part of this amazing industry. So while I'm talking about, you spoke about the soft touch and the soft skills. How much of mental fitness is important to be with FITTR, and the lifestyle of FITTR that you build with people? How much of the importance go to mental fitness?
No, look. So for us, we don't have a distinction between fitness, physical fitness, and mental fitness. We don't consider them two different things. We believe that mental fitness and physical fitness are like day and night. So one cannot exist without the other. So it's imperative that all of our coaches have these qualities built in. They definitely, in fact, it's one of our tenet. So one of the values at FITTR, the FITTR philosophy. So one of the values is endure, which means that, look, you have to be mentally so strong that nothing can shake you. And the second one is obviously give back. So endure and give back. One of the key tenets is endure. So you have to be mentally tough, because, dealing with people who are unmotivated, who are expecting magic, and sometimes when they don't get results, they can also get abusive at times, right? So in the beginning, we used to face these kind of problems, and explaining them patiently, the same thing over and over again, and working with them, understanding their concerns, you're as good as a psychiatrist. And so unless until you yourself are not physically, mentally, financially, emotionally fit, you cannot tell somebody else to do the same. So coaches are not just coaches. They are the people who are inspiring their clients. So the clients are not looking at Hrithik Roshan or somebody else. They are essentially looking at their coaches, and they're telling, coach, I want to be like you, not like somebody else. And this is what we want our coaches to be. They have to serve as an inspiration to all their customers, clients.
And it's so good to have, and it's so important to have the brand ambassador of your own product for people to follow. And that's the best kind of testimonial that you can get from market. So I read on your website and also on the philosophy, you talk about the holistic development and quantifiable development. And I'm sure the diet plays a big role. So is FITTR also talking about diet? The coaches also are the nutritionists and diet specialists, or you have the whole community who is working towards that as well?
No, so our coaches are experts in nutrition. They're experts in training. They're experts in client psychology. They're experts in behavioral changes. So all those things are part and parcel of the curriculum that they undergo. It's a rigorous course for about 6 months theory, and then they also have to undergo free transformation programs. Then they also have to do live training, have to submit articles, reviews, exams, all those things. So all this is covered. So we are not talking about some sort of a amazing or drastic kind of a change in the diet or lifestyle. What we are talking about is understanding the client's existing lifestyle and modify it in such a manner that he does not mind changing it or switching it to it permanently. It should not be कि 3 months में ये कर लिया है और उसके बाद में the client goes back to his old lifestyle. That's because the current lifestyle is not sustainable. So idea is to how to take what you have available and make the best out of it, right? So the coaches are actually pretty smart that way, and they it all is a part of becoming a coach.
So good. I think you're talking about the involvement of coaches. It's so much. So how many clients one coach usually handles, and it's like just typical ratio for people to understand.
Right. So on an average, a client handles about 75 clients on a given day.
Okay.
Which is a sum of 20, 25 new customers joining every month, and then people from the past months whose their packages are expiring, right? So on an average, we found out that our coaches handle about 75 clients.
Oh, 75 clients in a month.
At any given day.
At any given day, 75. So so how many of them all of them are personal, right? There is no group sessions happening in this. So
not right now, but we are introducing group classes also pretty soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that is because when you talk about community, then that is also part of the community of getting people together and making it into group. So, so JC, we're coming. I wanted to come to the next part about after the thing is the whole India is talking about Fit India. Whatever I don't want to go into the political side of it, but the Fit India is something that we get to hear a lot, and we are the youngest country with 65% population under the 35, and almost 300 million kids. Because I've been part of the Making India Play kind of initiatives, and Fit India is we always talk about. What is your concept of Fit India?
No, I think FITTR India is basically individuals who are physically, mentally, socially, and financially fit. And that's actually the definition of health by WHO. So WHO considers somebody healthy who has a fit physical, mental, emotional, and financial state. So fitness in isolation is not really fitness. You have to understand that there are softer aspects, other aspects. And I think unless until you identify all the other aspects and target them at the same time, it will not happen. And so, this is what we do at FITTR. FITTR is not just focusing on physical fitness. At the end of physical fitness, you also have a lucrative job, which is a high-paying job, which works for you at a financial level. Then the community is always there to support you. It's a no-nonsense community, right? So that takes care of your emotional needs. Whenever you have to talk to somebody, you can talk to people. Apart from there, we also believe that we are creating socially responsible individuals by simply doing what we are saying and then saying what we are doing. So basically walking the talk, by serving inspiration as leaders who are always out there to do the right thing, not compromising. We are also inspiring a generation of people who otherwise thought that this is not how a business is done.
Yes.
So we are also changing how a business should be done. And everything, if you see about FITTR, I keep talking about finances, internal details, all those things. And that's because we believe that people need to know these things. In an era where transparency is focused on, why are people not being transparent? Mm-hmm. Right? So we focus very much on, both internal as well as external transparency. We focus on ethics, building. We focus on a people-first approach. So be it our foundation initiatives, be it whatever we did during times of COVID, be it our success, be it our failures. They're out in the open. We are vulnerable. We are telling people that, it's okay to fail. We are telling people that it's okay to, have gone through bad times. But it's also important to understand that you're not going to give up. You will continue marching and you will do so in a right manner. So I think all these things are some of the basic tenets which we focus on as a community, as individuals. And we just love doing it so much that we don't think too much. Just wake up and do it.
Wow, it's so good to hear about it. What you're talking about is like so the ease in your statement is so much that okay, this is how it should be and this is how it works. So since this is a sports channel and we talk to a lot of athletes and all, what is your take on the sports industry and the current way of the fitness has been perceived? Like people like Virat Kohli doing those snatch and jerk and all those things, right? Everybody's now have those amazing fitness focus approach. What is your take on the sports industry and the fitness together?
Look, you can't have sports without fitness. People want to get into high impact sports, but they have to understand, look, everything in this world, everything in a human life works in progression. So you can't suddenly become an amazing athlete. You can't suddenly become an amazing footballer. You have to start from ground zero. You have to start from day one. And over a period of time, you keep getting better and better, right? So directly getting into a sport, without focusing on your physical fitness is a recipe for disaster. You might go to a certain extent, you might go to a certain level, but then you realize that your body is not adapted to high levels of stress. And so when you're getting into some sort of sport, it's almost a necessity for you to start focusing on your body, physical and mental fitness, so that at some point of time, when you're at your peak, your body does not give up, your mind does not give up, right? So all those things work in tandem, and it's really, really important. And I think, people like Virat Kohli, people like KL Rahul, all these guys are setting the right sort of examples by indulging in, weight training, indulging in quantified nutrition, by telling people that, look, we are not just people who are into sports. We look amazing. We lift every single day. Yeah. We eat right. And that's absolutely what's needed today. We don't want garbage products, bullshit, scamming people in the name of fitness and quick results. We want our leaders to talk about the basic tenets of life, which is hard work, dedication, patience, consistency. This is all that matters at the end.
It is so right, and I think India is always lacking the heroes and sheroes, and it's good to see somebody like you who is becoming a fitness the hero in the fitness side, and for people to admire or people to look forward to and look up to more about the whole journey. At the same time, having make the commercial as well as the personal sense out of the whole thing. One last question to you, JC. You've been very vocal about the whole entrepreneurial journey and what kind of investors that you should select and whom you should work with and all those things. Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal post that I get to read about from your own experience. What is your message to the budding entrepreneurs in the sports, health, fitness industry? Firstly, on the product side, then the deliverable side, and looking for the investment side. So what is your message to them?
Look, historically, people who have succeeded are people who created new industries, people who came up with solutions, who solved a problem. It was never people who were opportunistic and they got into a high-paying industry. They're people who were always unorthodox, were the ones who ended up making it big or won, right? So as a budding entrepreneur or as somebody who is just starting your entrepreneurial journey, you should understand that the focus should always be on solving the problem. And these problems need not be complex. Today, we are a country of 1.4 billion people where 90% of the people don't have enough means. More than 60% of the people can't get fresh water supply. So there's so many problems that we struggle with on a regular basis. For example, I found out that fitness is a major problem, and I'm so passionate, I'm so driven that in the next 10 to 15 years, we should at least make half of our country fitter. So you should get passionate about solving one of these problems. And this is the highest level of patriotism. And you don't say, you do. And then let people see what you're doing for your countries. Let people see what you're doing for your countrymen. Solve a problem. What we need today are not businessmen. What we need today are problem solvers. And becoming a businessman, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming financially stable, all of these things are basically a side effect of solving that problem. So don't chase money, don't chase success. Just focus on one problem and solve it so beautifully that it ends up eradicating, any past problems that came from it. So I think just focus on solving a problem and solve it, and don't stop till you absolutely nail it.
Yes, and it's so true. It's so true what you said, and I think that's a high note I really want to conclude our today's session. And this is so amazing to hear from you, and thank you for being the accidental entrepreneur. Thank you for having a name FITTR. So instead of FITTR India, we can call it the FITTR India. The way kind of you're building the community, wish you more and more success to more millions and millions of people joining the community and taking it forward. You're doing a great job on one side as a hope to the entrepreneurial community, startup community. At the other side, It's the social cause and the community building that you're doing. I think really good, and thank you, and keep inspiring people, and wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Siddharth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and take care. Stay safe. And meet you soon, and not on virtually now. I think look forward to meet you soon again in person.
Absolutely.
Thank you, buddy. Take care. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for listening. But please do subscribe on our channel Sportsy Says and help us spread the word about Sportsy. Let's talk sports. We go with the same handle Sportsy Says across all the social media handle. Please do subscribe to Sportsy Says and help us spread the word about Sportsy. Let's talk sports.